So let's get right into it. Max Healthcare, one of India's absolute biggest private healthcare players, is making a huge bet, and I mean huge, on the future. This is the kind of move that could totally reshape the country's medical landscape as we know it.
So what's the big number behind this big bet? Get this, 10,000. That's how many hospital beds Max Healthcare wants to be running in the next few years. It's a massive, almost audacious goal.
And just to give you a sense of scale here, this isn't some small incremental increase. We're talking about doubling their current size. It's like they're literally planning to build a whole new Max Healthcare right alongside the one they already have.
So that leads to the million-dollar question, right? The one we're going to unpack here. Why? Why is one of the biggest, most successful names in Indian healthcare going all in right now? What's the secret sauce? What do they see coming down the pipeline?
Well, it turns out the answer boils down to two huge trends, two massive waves that are crashing together and totally changing the game for healthcare in India. So let's get into the why behind this whole thing.
When you strip it all back, this big, complex strategy is really built on two core ideas. First, you've got this incredible surge in demand at home from what people are calling aspirational India. And second, you have this flood of patients coming from all over the world, fueling a massive boom in medical tourism.
Okay, so let's tackle that first one, aspirational India. What does that even mean? Well, it's not just that there are more people, it's that people's expectations have fundamentally changed. India's middle class is growing like crazy, and with more money in their pockets, they're demanding top-tier, world-class healthcare. It's a total mindset shift. They don't just want a doctor, they want the best doctor.
All right, now for that second pillar, medical tourism. We're talking about people from literally all over the globe packing their bags and flying to India for surgery, for treatment, you name it. And this isn't some tiny little niche market. Oh no. This is a booming, multi-billion-dollar global industry, and India is right at the center of it all, becoming a go-to destination.
So why India? What's the big draw? Well, for these international patients, it's a no-brainer. You can get world-class care, sometimes for just a fraction of what it would cost back home in the States or in Europe. And you're not cutting corners on quality either. You've got amazing doctors, the latest tech, and, this is a big one, you're not stuck on a waiting list for months or even years.
Okay, so we've got the why down, right? This double whammy of demand from both inside and outside the country. But that brings up the next logical question, the how. I mean, how on earth do you just add thousands of hospital beds?
You know, you can't just start laying bricks everywhere. That takes forever and costs a fortune. You need a really smart game plan, something that's fast, efficient, and doesn't expose you to a ton of risk. So, do you build brand new hospitals from the ground up? Or is there a better way to play it?
It really comes down to two choices. The first is what they call greenfield. You buy a plot of land and build from scratch. Super slow, crazy expensive, and full of risk. The other option is brownfield, where you find an existing hospital and buy it, then you upgrade it. And that's the path Max Healthcare is betting on. Why? Because it's faster, cheaper, and way less risky. It gets them in the game like now.
So what's the playbook for this brownfield strategy? It's actually a pretty simple, a classic three-step move. Step 1, find a hospital that has potential but maybe isn't living up to it. Step 2, you buy it. And step 3, you pump in the money and the know-how to bring it up to that premium Max Healthcare standard.
And here's a really interesting twist in their strategy. They aren't just focusing on the huge megacities like Delhi or Mumbai. A big part of their plan is to push into the smaller Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. They're going where the growth is, bringing that top-level care to places that have been underserved for a long time, but are a huge part of that aspirational India story.
All right, so a big company gets even bigger. You might be thinking, so what? But this is where the story gets really interesting. We need to zoom out and look at the ripple effects, because a move this big sends waves across the entire Indian healthcare system.
Think about it. This doesn't happen in a bubble. For patients, this could be great news. More choices, better access. But if you're a competitor, suddenly the pressure is on. You either get bigger or you get bought. It's a huge signal for the whole market that we're moving towards consolidation. Big fish eating smaller fish. And for the economy as a whole, it's a massive injection of growth into the healthcare sector.
So, what's the bottom line here? Max Healthcare's huge expansion plan isn't just about one company's balance sheet. It's a sign of the times. It's a massive flare going up, signaling that private healthcare in India is hitting a whole new gear. We're talking aggressive growth, we're talking major consolidation, all fueled by these deep-seated changes in the country's economy and its people.
And all of this leaves us with a really important, maybe even tough question to chew on. As the private sector rushes to build these incredible facilities for people who can afford them, what happens to everyone else? How do you balance this powerful drive for profit with the basic human need for healthcare that's accessible and affordable for every single person? That's the real challenge ahead.